Welcome everybody, it is Crypto Moose and it's time to get loose. Mitchell Bouchard, your crypto and NFT investor. What we're going to do on this episode is walk through the Midnight Nightpaper, also known as a white paper or Litepaper. So this is going to be a document that will give us a little bit of insight into what Midnight is going to be all about. So if you guys get something out of this, smash the like button, subscribe, and comment down below if you enjoyed this video. So right now we're taking a look at the Twitter for Midnight. So for those of you that don't know, Midnight is a new blockchain. It is a partner chain to Cardano. So there's going to be a lot of support there. So when I was at Rare Evo in Vegas, I actually got to meet the CEO. The goal of Midnight is to create a new blockchain in which we can control user privacy and more. So we're going to talk about that in this Litepaper video. So this is what it looks like, and you guys can check it out yourselves. Head over to the Twitter. You will see it under one of their latest posts. So it is midnight.network. You could also go to the website. It's all the way at the bottom. Click on white papers and you'll see this. When you're using crypto specifically for, you think about big businesses, you want some information to be private and some to be public, but you want to be able to control that. So that's what Midnight is all about. So here, legal disclaimer, keep in mind that some of this can change. So right now we are September 18th of 2024, and this is the current Litepaper. These get updated over time. So let's just get into some of the table of contents. Here we're going to be talking about token utility, architecture, ecosystem, and then roadmap, and then further info. All right, so let's dive right into it. Let's talk about some of this. So app developers, learnable. So Midnight TypeScript, we've talked about that in the past. So unlike other blockchains, which expose every element, Midnight can protect data and metadata, enabling businesses to protect their customers without compromising sensitive data security or disclosing activity, right? So the big thing I think about with Midnight is, voting. I think that's going to be a big one. So for small polls, even if it's not like election based, I could make my vote count without, on the other end, them knowing who voted. So I think that idea is really cool there. So today we are sending sensitive and private data across the internet to anyone. So misuse of sensitive data. So every day you guys are using cell phone providers, even, I'm using Google, Facebook, whatever it may be. How much of that information from the users going to the company, and how is that data being protected? So here we got public chain dApps. So with dApps, you're often still sending sensitive data and also adding public metadata that people can correlate to find out more about your activities, right? You've got your blocks, your metadata, but on the other end, how well is your data being protected? So with Midnight dApps, let's take a look at this. So Midnight shields your data using proofs with no metadata created on-chain unless you choose it to be on the public ledger. So visible to all but no metadata, so unshielded data. So you can send data through, but it's protected through proofs. So I like that idea. Shielded data. Data shielded from public and company. So you can send data from one end to another, but along the way, right? What is going to be in the metadata? Who's going to get exposure to this information? So here are the use cases. Digital identity. I think this is a big one. When it comes to privacy and security, specifically for voting, I think that's where it's going to be big. So digital driver's license for age verification, education, certificates for employment qualifications, credit history for loan without exposing irrelevant sensitive information. So let's say, and that is a good example. Actually, today I went to renew my driver's license. So when I renewed my driver's license, I had to give up information of my birth date because that was all on my card. They even asked me, where did I live? So someone on the other end, even today, that's why I wanted to do this video too, someone got to see my address, my birthday. But In the future, with this kind of technology, if I were to update my driver's license using this kind of technology, I could prove who I am. That data could be stored, but not anybody's going to get access to that, right? So again, kind of like the voting idea, if I were to vote and I would provide a specific amount of information that only I would be able to provide, let's say a private key or something, then as long as I sign on that transaction, it would be able to, on the back end, figure that out, right? Like, okay, this is where he lives. He voted once, done. Nobody else can come in and vote or alter it. So that's going to be very interesting. So here we got, this makes digital IDs more usable and could elevate DEX's, decentralized exchanges, compliance via secure KYC capabilities. Really cool. Asset tokenization, midnight protection of data and metadata can help facilitate the tokenization of on-chain and off-chain asset. Example, RWA's real-world asset. So asset ownership certification can live on-chain without compromising the owner's identity. That's big. So the asset details or asset relative activity. So this can enable the migration of real-world assets such as real estate, artwork, raw material, music licensing. Midnight can help create fraud-resistant preference reporting systems. Example, surveying, polling, voting. For members-based organizations, which can prove eligibility and participation status without disclosing personal information. I like this idea. The other thing is that I think it's going to be big for the authenticity because, as you know, for blockchain, immutable, right? You cannot alter it once it has been established. So especially with voting, like, why are we not using this? Why are we not voting with this kind of technology? You will not be able to double vote. That's not even the idea of this, but the idea of knowing that you voted, you only voted once, and nobody can ever find out who you voted for. I like that. Why wouldn't you use a technology like that? Takes out the friction, etc. So token utility, this is an exciting one. I got to speak with a few people at the event, and I kind of got a little bit of a glimpse into this. I suspected some of this. So like other blockchain ecosystems, Midnight's token primarily secures its network to be self-sustaining. So blah, 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 blah. What I'm getting at here is that Midnight innovates by using two tokenized assets working together. One is called Night, the other one is Dust. Okay? So Night is an unshielded token for governance, consensus participation, and block production rewards. Dust is a capacity access shielded resource that operates the chain effectively, the fuel activity. So it's effectively the fuel. So the unshielded token Night has a fixed supply and is deflationary with its policy. As an unshielded token, Night is easily accessible and helps ensure network security by operating as the reward token for its block producers. Night will initially exist as a Cardano native asset, CNA, benefiting from Cardano's trusted infrastructure and ecosystem activity. Night will also offer extended functions such as network governance. So Midnight's transaction energy Dust is a capacity access shield resource used to facilitate transactions on the network and ensures that transaction metadata is protected, prevent, blah, blah, blah. So you're going to have two different tokens. A future paper related to the relationship between Night and Dust, it will be in more detail. Okay. We will dive more into this, especially when I get to understand how this all works. So, guys, check out this white paper or Nightpaper. Let me know what you think. So that's about it. If you guys want to learn more, head over to midnight.network. I just wanted to really talk about that there are going to be two tokens and just the overall scope of what Midnight can entail. So, guys, with that being said, the moose is loose. Head over to the link tree. We will have the Nightpaper for you up here somewhere in the near future. So with that being said, we'll see you in the next one.